transit.
We've got 1 hour delays on rail service in and out of Penn Station, New York on NJT due to overhead wire issues with Amtrak at Penn Station. Midtown direct trains are being diverted to Hoboken as they usually do in these situations. New Jersey Transit rail fares are being cross-owned by New Jersey Transit buses and private buses, as well as the path at Newark, Hoboken, and 33rd Street. You need to keep it locked to 1010 wins. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones, and we will keep you updated on this New Jersey Transit story. Again, 1 hour delays on NJ Transit rail service in and out of New York Penn Station. Northern State Parkway, Long Islanders, eastbound at exit 35. We have an unauthorized tractor trailer there. It hit the overpass, though. The eastbound LIE, meanwhile, near Queens Boulevard has an accident blocking the left and centers, and we're delayed there. And then at Marathon Parkway, just east of the Cross Island, we have an accident blocking the right and center lanes there, and the delays go back to 164th Street. Westbound delays are slow coming back from the area right around Shelter Rock Road, and the Jackie Robinson westbound Union Turnpike still has an accident blocking one lane there. Traffic is sponsored by Optimum Business from the Farmers Dog Traffic Center. Fresh human-grade dog food delivered right to your door. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Get fast, secure internet for your business with 99.9% network reliability. Call 855-2-OPTIMUM or visit optimum.com/business today.
All right, here's our theme song this week. Yes, for sure. Another uncomfortable day around town. Joe, I think if folks use an inhaler, they need to make sure they have it on them today, right?
They do. And there's an air quality alert from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. and those for unhealthy, it's for unhealthful, for sensitive groups. Basically, those people who have some kind of respiratory issues to begin with. On a day like today, it's going to be somewhat enhanced or a little bit more of a challenge to breathe. So, if you've got the inhaler, you use one of those on a regular basis, make sure you have it handy. Otherwise, it's all about the heat and the humidity, really, for the next several days and probably through the weekend before there's any real relief from the heat and humidity going into next week.
Sorry about the blurriness. I don't know why this thing is doing this.
The upper 80s in Midtown today and tomorrow, 90 plus in the north and west suburbs. We'll add a few degrees to that, maybe 92 on Thursday and 94 Friday. Not quite as hot going into the weekend. The full details of the forecast coming up in less than 10 minutes right here in New York's weather station, 1010 Win, the 92.3 FM.
Well, the city's got its heat emergency plan up and running. That includes the cooling centers. If you don't have AC, you can get the locations on their Cool Options map. That's what they call it, nyc.gov/cooling centers. Of course, you can also call 311. For those with air conditioning, we're being asked to keep it at 78 degrees so as not to tax the electric grid. Some protesters arrested for disorderly conduct at last night's final vote of the Rent Guidelines Board on the annual increases for stabilized apartments in the city. They went with kind of a midway point on the range being considered.
For the third straight year, the board voted to raise rents on what owners call deteriorating rent-stabilized apartments.
A 19% decline in net operating income for older rent-stabilized buildings in the Bronx.
Protesters shouted as board member Robert Ehrlich presented his case for raises. One-year leases will go up 2.75%, two-year leases 5.25%. Public advocate Jimani Williams.
You cannot get money from people who do not have it. So if I was the administration, I'd be working with Albany to get help to small landlords in particular that need it.
Protesters blocking the entrance to the vote were arrested. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Midtown.
Well, the increases kick in for leases that renew starting in October. New stats show crime in the Long Island Railroad is at an 18-year high. Newsday got hold of the numbers from MTA police. They showed that assaults nearly doubled from 2022 to 23, including a spike in attacks against MTA employees. At the same time, major crime remains rare. For its part, the MTA says the numbers reflect increased enforcement in the LIRR system. President Biden announcing a new immigration policy, but this won't kick people out. It'll allow them to stay.
It's an aggressive election year action on immigration that has been sought by many Democrats. The policy will allow roughly 490,000 spouses of U.S. citizens an opportunity to apply for a parole-in-place program, which would shield them from deportations and offer them work permits if they have lived in the country for at least 10 years. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The official announcement expected later today. The White House pushing back on a series of recent videos of President Biden that have been making the rounds on right-wing media outlets.
White House dismissed clips of Biden standing still last week at this Juneteenth celebration as everyone else around him danced.
The president stood there listening to the music and he didn't dance. Excuse me.
Critics pointed to a clip of Biden at the G7 summit in Italy, claiming he started to wander off during a skydiving demonstration. But the full view shows Biden walking away toward one of the skydivers before Italy's prime minister helped pull him back to the group.
That's Andrew Dimbert. In a Washington Post article, Karine Jean-Pierre called the clips cheap fakes. When asked about that, she said they were being spread in bad faith. Now Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins with Steve Potusk.
If you like avocados, I don't know if this will lead to a shortage, Susan, but the Department of Agriculture has suspended some shipments of avocados from Mexico. The agency says some American agricultural inspectors were threatened. Now, the USDA didn't describe the incident, but local news reports say the U.S. officials were held against their will during a protest over police pay. Bloomingdale's has some big plans. The head of the upscale department store is eyeing more localization of events, merchandising, and marketing, and building up the accessories business. In his first interview since taking over in November, Oliver Braun told Women's Wear Daily, Bloomingdale's has a lot to learn from what's happening with department stores outside the U.S. After a win for Wall Street yesterday, S&P futures are down now a point. NASDAQ higher by 25, but Dow futures are down 34. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Potusk for 1010 Wins and 92.3 FM.
Hey, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Sale. Hello. Save up to 50% on outdoor furniture and indoor essentials and have your best summer. Oh, how about storage for my inflatable flamingos? We've got you covered. Let's turn your space into a summer haven with space for birds. Awesome. Visit us in store from June 12th to July 9th or at ikea-usa.com/midsummer. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and ikea-usa.com/midsummer for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
The first show of the Broadway season, Home, has just opened, and critics are calling it a cause for celebration. It's astronomical, cheers Amsterdam News, in what Deadline calls a top-notch production, with a cast that couldn't be better. All three actors turn out toward the forced performances. Welcome back home. You've been missed. Graves Time Out New York. Don't miss it. Home. Now on Broadway. Visit roundabouttheater.org for tickets.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles. Highly logical. Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters and how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Hey listeners, take a chance on the New Jersey Lottery's Jackpot with Hit Powerball promotion. For a limited time, purchase 3 Powerball plays on a single ticket and get a fourth $2 Powerball play for free. Restrictions apply.
Now this message, don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com. 72 degrees now, mostly sunny skies, the humidity 81%, winds north at 5. We're heading up to 88 this afternoon, but it's going to feel like it's in the upper 90s. Your 4-day forecast in just 2 minutes. I'm Susan Richard. Winds News Time 7:30.
And a very good Tuesday morning. I'm Scott Stanford. Well, the city has a plan to move ahead with a women's homeless shelter over on West 74th Street. And a group of Upper West Side residents say that, well, they've kind of been duped.
Residents call this a bait and switch tactic. They say the brownstone that's been here for 100 years on West 74th was most recently a private elementary school. The new owners bought the property last summer. They were talking about either high-end housing or, more likely, affordable housing. But now, a shelter, as many as 150 single adult women would be in here. Debbie Sale with the group Friends of the Upper West Side. She lives on the block.
We lived with Phoenix House for 40 years. we're not opposed to something of this sort, but we also feel like the community has always been consulted in the past when any kind of organization came into the community to do something that was unusual for the block.
So the plans as of now to open up the shelter this fall, which the city says it is desperately needed. Glenn Shuck, 1010 Winds, 92.3 FM, here in the Upper West Side.
Wednesday news time 7:31. Traffic and transit Tuesday morning. How we looking, Karen Stewart?
Bad with New Jersey Transit rail service in and out of Penn Station, subject to 60-minute delays due to Amtrak overhead wire issues at Penn Station. Midtown direct trains are getting diverted to Hoboken, and New Jersey Transit rail fares are being cross-honored by NJ Transit buses, private buses, and by the Path Line. Keep it locked to 1010 Winds. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. We'll keep you updated on this New Jersey Transit story. Eastbound Northern State Parkway, Long Islanders, today's at 35 from 106 and 7 is very heavy. We have an unauthorized tractor trailer at 106, 107, and only one lane is open. This tractor trailer, by the way, hit an overpass there. In New Jersey, we've got Route 46 westbound, west of the Turnpike, with a sinkhole in the right and center lanes, and there are delays. Inbound Pulaski Skyway, heavy to the Hackensack River Bridge in Jersey City, with an accident in the right. And as we check what you need to know about the bridges and the tunnels, it's still 35 to 40 inbound George and Lincoln. The inbound and Holland, the inbound Lincoln is better with a 25-minute delay. Alternate side parking is suspended again today, citywide for religious observances again. The meter rules apply. We're sponsored by the Barnes Run Traffic Tip Line, which is 844-JAM-1010 from the Farmers Dog Traffic Center. Fresh human grade dog food delivered right to your door. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.